Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yeah, what is poppin', fam? A little later start. We're about 7 minutes behind the ball here. Happy Monday morning. Your boy was spent all morning at the shop having some issues with the lighting.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
It's probably the fuel pump still, so we're figuring that out. We'll get it figured out today. We'll get it figured out freaking today. So right after this, I head right back there. So yeah, man, it's hard to shoot content when that thing's not running. We got plans this week, dude.
Yeah, we sure did.
We got a lot of plans coming up, a lot of TRX content, a lot of lightning content, but it's hard to do if the thing won't run. So it throws a little wrench into things, but we should get it figured out today. That's the plan. We'll get it figured out. Fresh off the plane from Chicago. The Bears. Great time in Chicago. I can finally say I've had good pizza in Chicago. I had Gino's East Pizza, and I like my pizza sauced up. I like it saucy, and this pizza was super saucy. Jay Schaub ate 5 pieces in a single night.
And those are thick pieces. That's not like 5 pieces of like New York pizza. That's like 5 lasagnas.
Yeah, he ate 5 slices of lasagna. He ate an entire casserole to himself of lasagna. It was delicious, though. Shout out to the Comedy Bar, man. Whenever I do Chicago, it's always in the suburbs in Schaumburg because that's where the Chicago Improv's at. And with traffic, it's about a 2-hour drive, so that's why we decided to try and find a venue that's in the city. And this place we would walk to it. We'd stay downtown and walk to it. So wasn't freezing. Felt like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone out there. Chicago's so Christmas. It's just that city just.
That's so weird you say that. I watched Home Alone this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
My kiddos, I introduced them to Home Alone 2 last night.
Nice.
Because they love hotels, they love toy stores. That's all that movie is. So they absolutely loved it. I took a straight red eye to make my son's baseball game where they lost by 2 runs. What can you do? Kids are learning. Travel ball team. They're playing with some good kids. So what can you do? But, let's get to it, man. You got the big UFC 296. The UFC is closing the year just like they should. This one is a big boy. This card is stacked. Even the prelims are stacked. But that main card is so freaking tasty. Possibly card of the year, depending how these fights go down, but it has it written in the stars. This thing could be by far the best card of the year. It's a good time to be a fight fan. This is the last hurrah for 2023. And the UFC's had a great year. It's been a good year for all the people in the fight verse, you could say. This one's good, and we're closing out the year. We got a Calabasas fight companion this Saturday with Chito Vera, Rampage, and myself for UFC 296. It's a big boy, so we have to bring in the big guest, and that's what we're doing, man. So it's going down. Your main card kicks off with which is kind of stole the narrative of this crazy main card for reasons outside of fighting. You have Vicente Luque versus Ian Garry. That's kicking the main card off. That's how good this card is. And that fight, I probably have more excitement for than any other fight on that card. It's just a fork in the road for Ian Garry, this prospect who is a once-in-a-generational talent. And he's fighting, a tough guy, Vicente Luque. They used to be training partners. There's so much drama going into this fight. And I think if Ian Garry can weather this insane shitstorm that he's dealing with in his personal life, and then it feels like the entire fight community is against this guy, for me, this is the one that I star on this main card, because if Ian Garry can weather this storm and get a highlight reel knockout over Vicente Luque, we will remember this moment as he goes on to be world champion. This will be the fight that was the make it or break it moment in this young fighter's career. And there is so much pressure on him. There's so much pressure. There's so much noise. And if he can somehow pull this off, which I think he does, If he can pull this off, ignore all the crap going on in his personal life and all the hate that he's been getting. It's gotten so bad he had to turn comments off, which is usually a bad sign. But again, I don't think he's running his stuff. But regardless, I think if he can just somehow get over the hump and do what he does best, which is fighting inside that octagon, and if he can get a knockout, which I think he does, over Vicente Luque, it's going to propel him to levels that he couldn't even imagine. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do this show. That's why I continue to support the UFC. This is for these exact moments. It's the guys' come-ups that I love. It's what keeps me involved in the sport. It's what I get most excited for. Once the guys have made it, like a Leon Edwards or Colby Covington, once these guys are good, I enjoy watching greatness. But to me, it's the come-up, the Conor McGregor come-up. If you remember those days, they're so special. There's nothing like it in sports. It's what makes the UFC the best. And Ian Machado Garry he's that guy. He has the chance to pull that off Saturday night. And I do think he gets it done. Now, if he goes in there and gets absolutely starched by Vicente Luque and looks like a shell of himself, he's not the guy. And somebody else would come eventually, but it would be a sad day in the fight world if Ian Machado Garry let this get to him and let all the noise and the social media and all this visceral hate get to him and not show up. I don't see that happening in any facet. I think Ian Machado was built for this, and I think people that are talking smack to Ian, you're going to fuck around and find out Saturday night. And I think he wins in convincing fashion, and it's going to be just a moment we check in Ian Machado Garry's career, and he's going to go on to do great things. And it starts Saturday night. Nothing that he's done is bigger than Saturday night, and he has a damn tough opponent, but he has the perfect opponent. A, they've trained together, so he knows his tricks. B, Vicente Luque, he's never been in a fight where he doesn't get hit. Now, the issue with that, and he'll pull it off, he'll win, but the issue with that is when you're fighting a sniper like Machado Garry, you can't afford to get hit. And that's just, it's in Vicente Luque's DNA. That's why we absolutely love this guy. He's an exciting fighter. He went on that crazy run where won 4 in a row. And then he got Muhammad, and that's how good Belal Muhammad is. Belal beat him, and then he lost to Jeff Neal. He got knocked out by Neal, which is a big win for Neal. And then he did work against Dos Anjos for 5 rounds. But again, his type of fighting where, he'll bite down that mouthpiece and via Cody Garbrandt, but with a much better chin, that is absolute trouble for Vicente Luque and his camp against a sniper and Machado Garry. And you guys can tell how high I am on Machado Garry. If I had to bet on anyone be champ in the next 18 months, it's Garry. And he has such a big moment where, with all this noise going on in his life, he can silence everybody with a straight freaking head kick or a straight left or a straight right or a hook, a killer Francis Ngannou via Alistair Overeem knockout. He can get that done, man, with a sick uppercut, and it silences everything, and then it's just a thing of the past. People are just like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Some people still bring it up, but as Al Davis said for the Raiders, just win, baby. It takes care of everything. And I'd love to see him shut everybody up. Feels like the world is against him. When everyone's against this, especially when it has nothing to do with fighting, when everybody's against somebody, that's who I root for. I'm like, oh, you guys suck, man. Everyone's piling on them and, oh, this, and you suck, your wife, cuck this. When everyone's going that way, I want to go this way. So I've never rooted harder for someone than Ian Garry this Saturday, man, because he has the skill to pull it off. And if mentally he can overcome this, bro, you're talking about multiple-time defending world champion, I think. So we'll see. No pressure, Ian. But he knows the pressure. He knows the pressure. I think he definitely gets it done. The next fight on the main card, Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. Again, there's so many stories with every card, with every fight on the main card. And that's why I love this. It's just not 2 world-class fighters. It's all world-class fighters across the board. There's 10 of them, right? 10 world-class fighters, and there's a story. Each of these matchups have a story, and each fight has so much implications for world champion, title shot, bigger payday, superstardom. Every one of these fights is such a big deal. When you look at Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett, again, there's a fork in the road, and this fork has been in the road for Tony Ferguson, but it's also a fork in the road for Paddy Pimblett because most people think Paddy lost his last fight against Jared Gordon, and he's gotten a lot of hate for that. But he's this young kid. He says some of it did get to him, like when Rogan said he thought he lost the fight, and so he wants to prove to everybody that he is the real deal. But Paddy Pimblett, a lot of people root against this kid because they think he's had it too easy and he doesn't deserve the fame that he's getting, which I disagree. This kid is an absolute freaking star. Now, is he a world beater right now? No, but he's not supposed to be right now. You got to realize where he's at in his career. He's not supposed to be, a top 10 guy right now. So, he stumbled against Jared Gordon. Again, he's gotten all this hate, and he's good at managing that, and he's a superstar for that reason. He does well with whether he gets, praised or whether he gets hate. So that's part of being a superstar, is dealing with all that noise and not letting it get to you, not changing who you are. And I think Paddy Pimblett's built for this. The issue with Paddy Pimblett is his star is bigger than his experience and skill set right now. So for him, we want to keep this momentum going. He's a Barstool guy, so he has the push from Barstool, which is massive. Dana White loves him. He's the face of Liverpool, so he has all this going for him. But people don't like when you get over. When you get over on a guy like Jared Gordon, who's this grinder and he's beloved by fans, and people thought he lost that fight, and he probably did. It was close, but he probably did. So now this next one, it's tough for Paddy Pimblett because he's in a no-win situation. Even if he gets the best version of Tony Ferguson, who's training, with David Goggins, which we'll get to, but even if it's a good version of Tony Ferguson, people still aren't going to give Paddy the credit he deserves, because you're talking about a Tony Ferguson, which most of the people watching this show and the people in this room remember when Tony Ferguson was the baddest 155er on the planet. It was him or Khabib. They were supposed to fight many times. It didn't come to fruition. All good. But Tony at one point was the baddest man walking the planet. So we know that version. And Paddy's not fighting that version. Paddy's fighting a guy with 6 losses. So, again, for Paddy, if he goes in there, he knocks him out in 10 seconds. We're like, yeah, dude, it's Tony Ferguson. That's his 6th loss in a row, 7th loss in a row. Good job. Next. So this isn't going to do much for Paddy, but hurt him. If this is a competitive fight, if it goes the distance, this can be bad for Paddy. So, I get the UFC's traditionally known for when a guy of legendary status like Tony Ferguson and they got the up-and-comer, they're going to say, all right, beat him, to dethrone this guy and take his fan base and move on. They've done this a million times. But this is the worst one I've seen yet, because no matter what Paddy does, he can't really win people over with this. So it's a very, very risky fight for Paddy. He's not going to gain any more fans. He just has to show that he can dominate a guy like Tony Ferguson. Tony is tough, man. I know he's fallen on hard times. He's a shell of himself. And no matter what happens here, I don't want to say it should be Tony's last, because I do think if Tony were to win this fight, there's a world where Tony gets the Conor McGregor fight. I could see something like that happening, because Tony and Conor are supposed to fight for a hot second. Conor is going to fight Chandler next at probably UFC 300 or maybe a little later, but there is a good chance, and as much as we love Conor, there's a good chance Conor loses that fight. So what do you do with Conor? He's not going to fight these big-time dudes anymore. He can't. It's not there. We need to get him a win. A Tony Ferguson fight makes a lot of sense, but Tony has to win. So if Tony wins, what a great last fight. You finally get that elephant fight, that golden elephant, that green elephant named Conor McGregor. It's a good fight for Conor. It's a good fight for Tony. It makes sense. A lot of people would tune in. Everyone's familiar with Tony. Everyone in God knows Conor. He needs to win. It'd be a good fight all the way around. So for Tony, if he loses, yes, end of the road, 100,000%, this thing's over. But what's waiting for Tony, if he were to win, is I think a Conor McGregor fight. So again, fork in the road. Think about that. Those two extremes. If you lose to Paddy Pimblett, a guy who's not even ranked, this whole thing is over. Your ridiculous Hall of Fame career is over. If you win, waiting in the shadows is the biggest fight of your life. Even though you've lost 6 out of 7 fights, if you were to win this one, you've lost 6 out of 7. And you still get the Conor fight, and you know what? He's earned it. Who would be mad at that? He's earned it. You wouldn't watch Tony Ferguson, Conor?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Hell yeah, you would. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
They were supposed to fight a few times now. They've been calling each other out.
He keeps calling them McNuggets too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's a lot of heat there.
Yeah.
But what a great send off for Tony Ferguson in his career.
Yep.
He deserves that. So I'm conflicted on this card with a bunch of these fights. My heart wants this guy to win, but my head's definitely saying this guy to win. So I'm not betting on this card. I'm not. I like too many guys. Vicente Luque, he's been on food. Vicente Luque is one of the nicest guys you will ever. He is so freaking cool. But I don't even know Ian Garry, but just as a fight fan, I want to see him win. Doesn't mean I don't like Vicente Luque. I just think Vicente Luque's had his run, and it's Ian Garry's turn. When it comes to Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett, I don't want to see Paddy Pimblett lose. I love Paddy. Paddy's one of my favorite fighters. Again, he's on the come up. I love that story. That's what I do this for. I would love to see Paddy win and get another big fight and prove all these people wrong, and his striking gets better. But again, I love Tony. Because Tony wins. I really think a Conor fight's in his future. I'd love for a guy that's put in the work and all the years and, probably suffering from CT in some, degree. Yeah. And his send-off is a mega fight against Conor McGregor that he's always wanted. Yeah, he deserves it, man. He has kids. He has a family. He's put all the work in. He deserves it.
That'd be a great fight for the casuals and the hardcores too. Yeah, so it would be a great fight for sure.
But do I want to see Paddy lose? No. Do I want to see Tony lose? No. So it's I don't want to pick that card. Now I bet Brian Callen, because he's a moron. I bet Brian a lot of money. Tony Ferguson could win because even though he's lost 6 in a row, Tony Ferguson's a savage, and training with David Goggins, I like that, but it doesn't make me feel good because the last thing on my mind when Tony's going to the octagon is, I hope he's in shape. Has it in the history of Tony Ferguson fights, has everyone went, oh, he looks out of shape? Never. Also, this is a 3-round fight. If it's 5 rounds, I'm like, oh man, it's Tony with an even better gas tank, for sure gonna win. It's 3 rounds. Tony can do 3 rounds. He doesn't even need a training camp. So having David Goggins, again, Tony's never been mentally broke. I can understand if it was a guy like Paddy Pimblett, let's say 2 fights from now, cardio's an issue, he's on a 2-fight losing skid, and he just needs to get his, that oomph back, that kind of dog in him back. Yeah, then you send him with David Goggins. But with Tony, that dog's never left. His body left. His chin left. David can't really help with that stuff. So as much as, I posted him training with David, and I love it, and I was like, definitely picking Tony now. All jokes aside, it's for Tony's, it's going to be head movement and, I think mixing it up more, not relying so much on that weird kind of unorthodox movement anymore at his age, and a takedown defense. Takedown defense is kind of, it's not great there, but he'll always embrace it because he encourages the transitions and will catch people in darces and triangles and head and arm chokes. So for him, it's going to be taking advantage of Paddy Pimblett's striking. Paddy Pimblett's striking is nowhere near Tony's, especially his defense. Paddy Pimblett's defensive striking is very amateur. He has to work on that, and he's going to work on it. I'm sure that we're going to get a better version of Paddy Pimblett, but is he a finished product? No. Is there holes in his games? Absolutely. But that's why this is great. So we'll see what version of Paddy we get. We'll see what version of Tony we get. But the implications for that fight are insane. For Tony, it's either you're done and you're watching the UFC like me on the couch for the rest of your life, or in your future is a Conor McGregor fight. Jesus Christ. For Padley, lose this one, man. He's still young enough where it's not the end of the road, but it definitely hurts. So you had that Tony Ferguson fight where it's win or, it's over. For Ian Garry, you got to win, And then in the third fight, Schaub, Wonderboy Thompson, this is a title eliminator fight. The winner of this, I would assume, fights at welterweight next for the title. Schaub, we've always knew he was coming. He just walks very slow to get to the title. This dude is not very active. He's undefeated, all finishes. He's fighting a 41-year-old Wonder Man Thompson. And, this is the UFC disciplining Wonderboy. That's exactly what they're doing. He came out, he turned down that fight. And then he came out and was like, he still haven't been paid. And the UFC's like, all right, dude, you're going to make us look bad? Say less. Here's Schaub. It's a terrible matchup for him. It's awful. Awful. So, you would assume this is the title eliminator fight. If Wonderboy were to win, for sure he deserves it. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And for Schaub, they're just waiting. They need a reason to get him in the title picture. This would do it. Now, again, so much implications here because if Wonderboy loses, he's on the wrong side of 40. He just lost a fight, That'd be 3 out of his last 4.
So here's Wonderboy's record right here.
That's what I'm saying. If you lose this one, that's 3 out of 4, but he beat Kevin Holland. They lost to Muhammad. He lost to Gilbert Burns. So at 41, you're way back in the queue. There's a lot of young cats, because it's over, man. Yeah. So that's interesting to me. It's over. Again, fork in the road. I know I keep saying forks. I don't like forks. I use spoons when I can. I don't like forks. I hate forks. I like spoons. Spoon in the road. And then you get to your co-main event. Probably the best matchup as far as stylistically, as far as skill set, probably the most even matchup at a world-class level on the card, especially the main card, is the co-main event, a world title fight. And they only fought, I think, 2 years ago, and Royval got choked out, but it was a competitive fight, good fight, a lot of scrambles. But it's weird because the most competitive, the high-level fight on the card for two guys in their prime, and it's probably going to be the least watched fight or talked about fight. That's just the way it is. Real Housewives of the UFC. And Pantoja and Brandon Royval are just, they're not the hot chicks in this episode. It just is what it is. They're the friends of the hot chicks. We're like, yeah, I know them. I like them. I'll watch it, but I can't wait for the hot chick with big tits in the main event. That's how it goes. This one's interesting because, again, they fought recently. Brandon Royval lost, and then now he's been on this freaking war path, man. He's been on a path. He lost to Pantoja as his last loss. That was August 21st, 2021 on a fight night. Jared Cannonier versus Gaslam. And then he's gone on to do work. He's won 3 in a row. So he's earned it, but he's lost, to Brand Moreno. He lost to Pantoja. So
the top of the top, though.
Yeah, the tip of the spear guys. But, now he gets another title shot. He's a Colorado boy, so you know who I'm rooting for. But again, Pantoja's story is fantastic. When he got on the mic, I was like, "Do you love me now, Dad?" Everyone's like, "Whoa,
that's so heartbreaking."
Let's look into that. Again, here comes Real Housewives of MMA. You didn't care about him until he got on the mic and talked shit to his dad. Wait, what happened? You see me now, Dad? That's all it took. We're in. Oh, yeah, father issues? We're in. Now we care how you fight. He's a ridiculous fighter. Do you care about me now, Dad? Uber, F you. And we're like, wait, Uber? He's like driving for Uber, too?
Yeah.
In the UFC?
Yep.
That story was funny because people were like, this is ridiculous. This world-class fighter's driving for Uber. It's like, yeah, he didn't fight for 3 years. The UFC can't pay you. Like, that's the gig. You got to fight. That's like me being like, I still want my money from podcasting and not doing podcasting. This is ridiculous. Like, we got a podcast, dude. You got to fight, dude. UFC didn't want you to drive for Uber, but also you got to fight. That's your gig. But that's a great fight. Great fight. Best fight on the card. Stylistically, everything, I know they're smaller, so you guys don't care, but phenomenal fight. And then the main event, again, there's so many storylines into this. This main event, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, finally it's here. People have their opinions on if Colby should even be in the situation. He's been not that active. Go to his record, Chin.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, that'd be great. He's 2-2 out of his last 4. He only loses the very, very best in damn near 8 years. January 1st, it'd be 8 years. He's only lost to one opponent named Kamaru Usman. That's how good this kid is. He beats everybody else not named Kamaru Usman. He steamrolls everybody else not named Kamaru Usman. He does a great job at keeping his name in the headlines. He plays a character. People at my show come up to me, dude, Colby Leon, who you got? I hate Colby, man. That Trump lover. I'm like, saying you hate Colby because of the things he says is like hating the Undertaker in the WWE. You actually think he comes from the grave. It's the exact same thing. It's just a character. He's the nicest, most respectful dude I've met in the sport. It's a character. Hate to tell you guys. Now, he'll never tell you that. And I think for Colby, too, it's just a way to – his style's not the most exciting, but it's a way for him to get in these mega fights and keep his name in the headlines and make a lot of money. Heavy Lies the Crown, he gets a lot of pressure. He gets death threats, bomb threats. Heavy Lies the Crown, but it's worked out for him in general. He's not in this fight if he didn't have that persona. Not a chance. Being as inactive as he is, some of the outside the octagon issues, the lawsuit with Jorge Masvidal, there's not a chance they'd put him in here if he didn't come up with this character that he plays. So I'm a huge Colby fan. I just get worried because he's not active. And not being active and then fighting a guy in Leon Edwards who has been active and who has also beat your guy, your Achilles heel, twice. That last one, it was a closer fight, but he definitely beat him, man. He definitely beat him. He looked good. And Leon's getting better. And we're seeing him get better in front of our eyes. He's a world-class talent. For Colby, we know exactly what he's going to do Saturday night. There's going to be no new wrinkles. He has his bread and butter. He doesn't want to, work on his striking. He knows what he has a limit with his striking. He knows he has a gas tank from God, and he pushes forward, and he does his thing. He looks for takedowns and tries to break dudes. For Leon Edwards, he's had the perfect opponent to get ready for Colby. He's fought Kamaru Usman. He's been focused on Kamaru Usman for literally a year straight, and he beat him twice. So the odds are not in Colby's favor. Sucks to say. I would love for Colby to win this fight. The story would be fun. He's a good character for the sport. Him getting the title, he just runs with it. He'll get a lot of eyeballs. So it's a very tough fight for Colby. It's a very, very tough fight for Colby. I think he's going to implement a lot more wrestling, a lot more grappling than Kamaru did. But again, he's going to go for those takedowns, and he does apply pressure, and he uses his striking to set up his takedowns. The issue with Leon is he's so much better at striking than all these wrestlers who adapt to striking. It's Leon's language. It's his first language when it's these wrestlers' second language. So Leon's going to have such an advantage. And the problem there is he has such an advantage on the feet, and he's been working, and his team's been working. They know that's the Achilles heel when it comes to elite strikers, getting taken down. So he's working with high-level wrestlers, and his takedown defense is getting better and better and better. And he's been focused on these wrestler via strikers for how many years now? Getting ready for it. And he had the perfect opponent to get ready to beat a guy like Colby and Kamaru Usman. I'm saying all this being a Colby Covington fan. If you're a Colby Covington fan, it does not look good. It doesn't look good. But I'm rooting for him. Again, wouldn't bet on it. I'm not going to make any picks. I know who I want to win. Is he going to win? It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Can he do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But would not put money on it. And there's a few exciting ones on the prelims in Josh Emmett and Bryce Mitchell.
Which is a replacement, yeah.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal fight. Tough fight for Bryce. Has to get him down. Josh hits like a Mack freaking truck, dude. Cody Garbrandt, Brian Kelleher.
Awesome. Yeah,
great fight. Casey O'Neill, Lipsky. How dare you put Alonzo Menafield and Dustin Jacoby on the early prelims?
Let's go to the UFC website just to double check.
Because what are you on, Wiki?
Yeah, usually Wiki's more correct, though. So let me go back a little bit here. All right, so early prelims. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's rude.
Andre Feely, too, on the early prelims.
Feely Almeida is a phenomenal card.
Yeah.
Good luck getting freaking a bonus on this card, man. It's going to be saucy. Anybody
There's
in
so
here
many
want to
good
bet
fights.
who gets the bonus? I'll tell you who I'd put my money on.
Oh.
You guys go first.
Okay.
Out of all the card?
Yeah, man.
This one looks good, but
I'll
no,
go first.
Go
Patty.
for it.
You're taking Patty?
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually always give him bonuses. And then Barstool gives an extra bonus. That boy's balling. Chin?
I'm thinking, hold on. Let me look through it one more time. You know, let's go to Wiki. It's easier to see everything.
Just pick somebody, Chin.
I'm picking right now. Honestly, I think for some reason Schaub and Wonder Boy might be crazy.
Yeah, but who's going to get the bonus?
Oh, the bonus. No, both of them.
You think they both
Like
so
fight
they're
of the night
fight of
kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take Ian Garry for the bonus. I think he gets a head kick knockout, and the UFC knows all the pressure.
Damn, that's specific.
Yep,
Head kick knockout.
yep.
Dope. All right, we have, what's the money?
I don't know.
$20?
How about lunch?
Yeah.
You have to buy lunch at that place at the
Yeah, let's
street.
go.
Is
Let's
the
do it.
Six?
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
called
good to
the
me.
Six? You got to buy lunch at the Six.
Sounds good to
next
me.
week. We just order it and you bring it here. But you gotta go. You gotta go pick it up.
You got to walk there.
You gotta walk there.
You're
get
too
it,
busy,
and bring
Brandon.
it
You're
over
too
here.
busy. Yeah, we'll
you
just
gotta
bring it
get
over
it
here.
and then walk over here. I'll take Gary gets the bonus.
All right. Well, it makes it more fun now.
Now hold on, Chin. The
Yeah.
problem. So to make it
So you
fair,
got to pick one person then.
you got to pick one person, or to be fair, you pick one fight.
So I
If
was
you want to
picking,
open it up, if you're just going to pick a fight, you have Schaub,
Yeah, that.
Wonder Boy. So if Wonder Boy knocks him out with a head kick and gets a bonus, you still win. Even if you think Schaub's going to win, it doesn't matter. Or if Schaub wins in this, like it's a back and forth and it's fight of the night and they get a bonus, they both get a bonus, you win.
So I have more odds of winning then.
Well,
That's kinda
no, because
messed
then if Vicente Luque and Ian Garry is a slaughter
of the night?
knocker and they get fight of the night, I win.
Oh, okay,
still.
all right, fine.
So you just go with one fight, so it increases our odds.
All right, cool.
So I'll take Vicente Luque, Ian Garry. You're taking Schaub, Thompson, and you got
Patty and
Patty Tony.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I guarantee.
I think Casey's going to win this one, dude.
Yeah, Casey has a good chance. So if one guy gets the bonus, you win. If it's fight of the night, you win. So
Perfect,
there's
yeah.
multiple ways to win.
I like it.
I mean, we pick the three main fights,
Yeah.
but it's always the safest bet's always the main event. Because if Leon Edwards gets a knockout, that's it. Or if Colby gets a submission or something, that if you're the main event, you're getting that performance bonus 100%.
Yeah.
But they do give multiples out, so it could be like an Oprah Winfrey. You get a bonus, and then nobody's buying lunch. This card's so goddamn good.
Yeah, dude. Top to bottom.
Yeah, man. And we have a Cowbats Fight Campaign. Starts live 7 p.m. on Thick Boy YouTube with Rampage Jackson and Cheeto Vera. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, dude. And speaking of UFC 296.
Oh, if you're going to watch the Fight Campaign at 7 p.m. live Pacific time, UFC 296 with me and the boys, you can also watch it and make bank, bro. That's right. Something special is going down, UFC 296, and DraftKings Sportsbook is helping you come out on top in this epic bout between Colby Covington and Leon Edwards. You also got Ian Machado Gary. You have Vicente Luque. You got freaking Patty Pimlet, Tony Ferguson. There's so many fun parlays you can do, so many freaking prop bets you can do. This is the best card of the year, and it's going down this Saturday. So watch and make bank with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code SHOP. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC with the code SCHAUB. The crown is yours. Who wants to do this?
Casey.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/MMA for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
All right.
We did it. We
Next
did
one.
it. This episode of the Shop Show is also brought to you by the best freaking kratom on the planet. We talking about Happy Hippo. Hippo, hungry Happy Hippo. It's the perfect gift that just keeps on giving. We're talking about your brain. We're talking about getting you that freaking limitless pill. It comes in powders, tablets, gummy, taffy, highly concentrated shots. They're K-dips that I use all the time. It's Happy Hippo Kratom, the wild, wild west of Kratom. Don't just trust anybody. Trust the one-stop shop. It's happyhippo.com. Promo code is THICC23. You get 20% off for life. Share it with your friends, your family, your mom, Uber Eats, Postmates, UPS, FedEx, whoever you want. Y'all can all get this bonus. All you got to do is go to happyhippo.com. Promo code is THICC23. Let's get back to the program.
All right. Do you want to cover any of the fights that happened over the weekend?
Dude, how about our boy? I should have wore his shoes. Cleo Roundtree sent me some amazing kicks.
Oh, man.
Some thick boy red dunks. Cleo Roundtree, Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
What a story. Because remember, Cleo was going to retire. Remember, he was out.
Mm-hmm.
He was thinking about getting out. He was like, this is probably my last one. There's a lot of retirement talk. Now here he's right there in the light heavyweight title contention conversation. Because Anthony Smith was there, too. If Anthony Smith won this one, because him and Alex Pereira have a history, going back and forth, I think Cleo Roundtree, you look at the light heavyweight standings, he's right there. He's right. He maybe one away. I could see them giving it to him. Because Cleo versus Pereira is a fun fight. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys are hurt. A lot of guys lost. Cleo's right there. Let me see the light heavyweight rankings. So Yuri, no. Jamal Hill's obviously out for a hot second for a variety of reasons. Magomad kick rocks. Jan,
he's out injured.
Yep. Rakic coming off injury. Krylov, Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker has a fight coming up against Magomed, so that's not going to happen. Anthony Smith was 8. Ozdemir not happening. Ryan Spann, and then Roundtree.
Yeah.
Love to hear the argument why Roundtree doesn't deserve a title shot. You tell me you want to watch Roundtree versus Alex Pereira? Especially if Alex wants to come back soon, too.
Dude, the ball's on freaking Khalil to call freaking Alex, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Who else you can give it to? Anthony Smith's with 8, so Khalil Roundtree's going to go number 8. Johnny Walker's booked for a fight.
And Rakic just calling out Yuri, and they're like arguing with each other.
Yeah,
so.
and Rakic's been out for a hot second, so he's not getting a title shot coming off at 5. Magomed at 3's tied up. Yuri, they just fought. Jamal Hill's having legal issues and his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
Love to hear it. Why wouldn't you give him a title shot?
You'd be excited.
Great story. Used to be 300 pounds. You know what that's like, Chin?
Yeah, kind of. And he's so jacked, dude. Like, insanely jacked.
City, great dude, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just happy to see our boy Khalil do the damn thing.
Yeah, and then remember the finishing thing? He was like...
Yeah, he waited.
He waited for the ref to just see, to make sure Anthony was out.
Now, if you're Anthony Smith, what do you do?
I think when he was talking on his show, he was saying I think he was saying with other opponents, he has to worry about different things that they do with Khalil. It's like one thing. It's like striking, leg kicks, and and he's like he sounded like he was gonna beat him, like confidently.
Sure.
And then he got beat bad by him. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think he has so much other stuff going on.
He's an analyst, has his podcast.
Just bounce. Yeah.
And you're back at the queue now.
Yeah, so just
and there's a lot of contenders. You know, like I was saying, there's a lot of contenders. They're tied up or they're injured, but there's a lot of guys in front of them. So he'll probably drop out of the top 10 now. So
he was doing good for a little while.
Smith's age, does he want to win 3 fights? Light heavyweight, you're always about 2 fights. If you're in the top 15, you're 2 fights away from a title shot. So he has to win 2. Mm-hmm. Those 2 fights are gonna be tough.
So 35.
Up to him. I support him, whatever he wants to do. But he has so much going on. This is a good thing. Whenever you're
That's why he has
like,
other stuff going on.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
But he said he has an itch always for that title shot. So who knows if he's that hungry for it?
Now, if his itch is just to fight for a title and not to fight any,
that's what he said. Yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's why it's tough right now.
It's gonna be very tough.
So once again, one championship delivers. I saw this entire card. It was insane, dude. The all Muay Thai card.
And that's what I'm telling
so
people.
Much fun.
It's the highest level of Muay Thai, and they have 4-ounce gloves on. So if you're ready for some knockouts, this is your promotion.
Like, it's crazy, dude.
Ready for this? This is the main card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Yeah, the first. So first of all, 7 out of 8 fights on the card were starch knockouts. And then the one fight, our boy Joe.
Which was fun as hell.
So fun with the unanimous decision.
Yeah, dude.
7 out of 8 knockouts, dude.
It was
Dudes were getting starched. And it's not just heavyweights. You know when you see an all heavyweight card, like, yeah, of course, that's what it is. Flyweights, there's a 120-pound dude that got dropped with a body shot. The 150-pound dude, just KO central.
Dude, insane.
And how big is that Roman cat? That Swedish monster.
6'7".
God, dog.
And he's
scary.
fast as hell. Like, yeah,
it was great,
it
man.
was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, we had it on the green room in Chicago. Best green room we've had.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Here's a quick one with boxing. So Devin Haney fought Regis Prograis.
Yes.
Over the weekend, and he
fight.
won every single round.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision.
Dropped him too. That was a great fight. And now Ryan Garcia's calling out Devin Haney. That's the fight. That's a blockbuster fight. Devin Haney's the man. Boy's bodied up in that picture. God dog.
They're both actually pretty jacked in that picture. But not this one. Let's go. So Alex Bahia posted a picture of Anthony Smith getting knocked out, and he goes, "Oh, that was a good fight." And it's kind of messed up, and it's obviously because they had beef, going on from before.
Well, it's because Anthony Smith was saying, "Oh, when he comes up to light heavyweight, we'll see if his power stays. I don't think it will." But you got to realize he wants to fight him, so he can't just be like, "Oh, he's the best. He's going to destroy guys. I'd love to fight him." So these guys, and it's just fighters, comics, same thing. They're so sensitive. So for Alex, it's like like, dude, he wants to fight you. So of course he wants to get your attention. That's how he does it. The only downside to that is when you do that and you lose, this is this is the blowback.
Yeah. And plus he was saying it because he's a commentator. Alex just felt like he was just always against Alex. But I mean, yeah, if he wants a fight,
see this guy. This is what I'm talking about. This guy goes. He literally said he doesn't have that much of a size and power advantage at 205 in comparison to 185. How are people hating Smith for this? Yeah, I'm with it.
It sucks to be a commentator and a fighter and a fighter that wants to fight someone in your same division, right? So
and you got to cover him, and everyone's jacking him off, and you want to fight him. You're like, we'll see. I don't think his power translates. Yeah. The next thing you know, he's like, this guy hates me. You're like, whoa, hey.
Yeah. So this is pretty crazy too. So the CSAC, the California State Athletic Commission, they're okay now in 2024. I think in April of 2024 with BKFC and slap fighting, they're allowing slap fighting. They're approving slap fighting.
Well, it shows you how bad the state needs money.
That's the first thing I thought.
It also
too.
shows you how big of a joke the commissions actually are. They're not there for fighter safety. No.
I mean,
this would be the same if you think politicians are looking out for your best interest. No, they're looking to pad their pockets. The commissions are the exact same. It's all corrupt. It's all just bullshit. What commission would sanction slap? Now, I have no issue with slap fighting. Do your thing, slap fighters. I hear it's a really entertaining person. All good. Do your thing. More power to you. But to say it should be sanctioned by a legit commission is insane. We all know what's going on here. No,
yeah,
the commissions, it's corrupt as shit, dude.
It's definitely money, yeah.
It's all money.
But BKFC, I get it because you can defend yourself. You're fighting
BKFC,
back.
I have no issue with.
Yeah,
BKFC,
but slap fighting is. I don't get that. Because you can't defend yourself. You're just waiting for someone to hit you.
Yeah, Calvert State Athletic Commission unanimously approved by a vote of 6-0 for power slap. Okay. You just go, okay. It's like when your doctor's talking about vaccines. You're like, wait, what? How do you know? Okay.
Let's not talk about that right
now. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Strickland did a not YouTube, Instagram video about his altercation with.
Was he in his truck?
Ian Garry. He was in his.
Ooh, you know. He's
always in his truck.
You know something spicy's coming if he's in that truck. There he is.
I can't play it because
kind of truck. I don't even think it's a truck. It's just a car. I think it's like
vehicle.
a Honda or something.
But he did say a lot of stuff.
You can't play it even though it's on Instagram?
Because the amount of stuff he says, I don't want us to get flagged.
Okay, he goes, I went to the PI today. I ran to the effer cuck Ian Garry. God, dog. Dude, did you see what Colby said about Ian?
Yeah. He
said the guy likes to watch his wife get beat up by another man, so he's going to enjoy this, you know? It's bad. Yeah. I went to PI today. I ran to the F cuck Ian Garry. Strickland said, awkward man, awkward. He looked at me. Security had to escort us around. Effing awkward. Poop. I'm laughing my butt off. Anyway, Gary, I don't effing hate you, dude. I actually like you. I think you're a funny little dweeb. You make me effing laugh.
And then this is like the main part.
He goes, I think you're a dumbass effing kid who got some good vagina that was too good for him, and it got in his effing, and it effed you up. It effed you up. I look at you like a victim. I don't want you to fight you, bro. I'm happy for your success. I'm happy for you. But if you look at me hard and you're feeling some kind of way that you need to get this poop effing handled, you want to look at me hard and that's what you want, slide up in the DMs, bro. I don't want it, but if that's what you want, you know where to find me, man. All this is doing, it's just the rumblings of this huge mega fight.
Yeah.
Ian Machado Gary, again, huge KO this Saturday, gets on the mic, goes, Leon, I'll get to you. Strickland, you're next. You want to talk all this stuff about my wife and say I'm a cuck? I'll show you a cuck. Boom. UFC, right?
I mean, it's already building
up like
crazy.
Itself. Yeah.
This one I thought was, I don't know how to feel about this one, so it's not loading. But so Ian Machado Gary saying that he would like to come to America to watch UFC 296, but he's afraid for his family.
Wait, watch? You mean have his family watch?
No, to come here to watch the actual fights, to go with his family to the fights. UFC 296.
Isn't he fighting it?
But his family.
Yeah.
So sorry, not him. So his family. Yeah. But he's saying like he's worried that because of all the hate that's online, he's worried about his wife and his kid. Because it's not the same thing.
It's not. Trust me, and these haters won't do shit. They know. It's just fun to do online. They're not going to do anything to your family. I get how, again, it's your family, so you don't even risk it. If I'm him, I probably wouldn't bring him just in case, just to be safe. It's also much easier and one less thing you have to worry about. Just leave them at home, or have them watch it in a dope spot in Vegas. You know, but I wouldn't bring them to the arena if it's because one more thing that you have to worry about going to this massive fight.
That is true.
So just set them up in Vegas, so when you get done, you can see your family. That's the move.
Yeah, but I think this kind of hate's more like they're just disappointed in him, not like actually hating on his family.
Yeah,
I just don't like his girl.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried if because it's a personal issue. So no one actually, it's something fun to run on, and obviously he's this super arrogant guy, which he should be as a fighter, and so him being a cuck, like the whole MMA Real Housewives community, they can jump on that. This is the story of last week. It's already dying down. If he gets a win, it completely dies down. I would be more worried if I was Colby Covington, because people are so stupid. They actually think he's that guy. And him being this huge Trump guy, and the people on the left, especially the extreme left, like when Colby gets a bomb threat, he should probably take it serious, because then you're talking about extremist. Yeah. Even Machado Gary doesn't have extremists; he has trolls. Big difference. There's a big difference when you go from trolls online, where they live for this kind of content and they're going to make clicks and they want to make money. That's different. Those people are harmless. They're just they don't have skills, so that's why they do that. But when you're talking about extremists, when it comes to political issues, that's different. If I'm Colby, that's something I would be worried about. That's when you need security. That's when you need to. I probably shouldn't bring my family. Like Colby doesn't. I don't even know if he has a girl. I don't know what's going on.
But I'm with you on that too. Yeah, for sure.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Those extremists, big difference.
Yeah, Colby said some crazy stuff. So.
Yeah. And Colby goes, there you go. I've had death threats, bombings. People want to kill me after Brazil. I've never turned off my social media. I never turned off my comments. Look at the little Ian Garry. He's turning off his comments like a little effing sensitive soy boy. You know he ain't tough. He ain't the biggest and baddest fighter in the division. The guy's an effing joke. He's a little effing kid, so I don't really have anything to say to him. I'm telling you, these guys are off. These guys are off. They're gonna learn. You're gonna fuck around and find out. Ian Gary's that guy. He has all the skill too. He's a bad mother trucker. You're gonna find out.
Yeah. Okay. So this popped up recently. So Henry Cejudo versus Merab Dvalishvili
Great fight.
for Anaheim here.
Great
in our
fight.
area. Yeah.
Great fight.
UFC 298.
So curious with that. Phenomenal fight.
And another.
Dude, how about we didn't even talk about our boy Otani, Dodgers, 700
I was
mil.
going to say that for Thiccc, but yeah.
Brian
go for
doesn't
it.
know what the Dodgers are, let alone Otani.
But the money is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The most ever, right?
Yeah. Biggest contract in sports of all time.
Yeah. Even more than LeBron. That's crazy.
Almost double LeBron.
Yeah.
Nuts. So cool. I didn't think he was going to the Dodgers. I'm more of a Padres guy. I was hoping he'd go to the Padres or Cubs, but Otani's been on record saying he doesn't like the Dodgers. Like years ago, he said, I'd never go to the Dodgers. I don't like what they represent. I want to go somewhere. The money talks.
Yeah, money talks.
Yeah. And he's like, I actually love the Dodgers.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so this is a report. I think this is, it might be official now, but it's a report that Jack Della Maddalena is going to fight Gilbert Burns.
Ooh,
Yeah.
dog.
$299.
Jack Delaman, JDM, another one of my favorites. Another up-and-comer. That's what I love. Tough fight for Gilbert. Tough fight for Jack. That's a great freaking fight.
For sure. Next one, this is kind of, okay, this is a quick one. Renato
Somebody
Moicano
get knocked out.
versus Drew Dober.
Yeah.
UFC Fight Night
Love me
February.
some Drew Dober.
But this one was the big news. So this guy, his name is Robelis Despaigne. The last 3 fights that he had, it's a total of 19 seconds. He knocked everyone out.
Damn, it says he knocked some dude out in 4 seconds?
Yeah, and he's 6'7".
Clearly heavyweight.
So the UFC signed him right away. I think Mick Maynard is the one that signed him right away.
Heavyweight?
He's yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I don't
Heavyweight.
know, 6'7" welterweight. You know, these
No,
kids
no.
are crazy, man.
He's heavyweight. So, yeah.
Fury FC, Jesus. His last 3 fights clocked combined total time of 19 seconds. He has what's his background? You have technique?
Taekwondo. So he's a bronze medalist in 2012 for Taekwondo.
This kid's a problem. How's that takedown defense, though?
So that's what's great about the UFC.
How's
we'll
that
find out.
jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. But he's a killer so far. Oh, and also his wingspan. I want to show you this. So you know John Jones. I think John Jones even
Has the
beat,
longest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even beat
Like
Stefan
84.
Struve.
Yeah.
He has 87 inch
Holy
wingspan.
Nikes. What are they going to do with this guy? Who's going to fight him first? Longest reach in UFC history. He's around 4 to 5 people wide. Jesus Christ.
Crazy, yeah.
This guy's going to be a problem. But again, what's his jiu-jitsu like? What's his wrestling like? Because these guys
That's
get
true, yeah,
eaten
that-
alive.
That's why the UFC will show him.
Yeah. That's why it's always dicey when he's this green behind the ears. It's tough. But at least heavyweight, you don't have to win a ton to get a title shot.
So there's rumors about, remember, I think we talked about it on the last episode, but Kevin Holland and Michael Venom Page, the whole thing on the Nelk Boys podcast, whatever. So anyway, so Michael Venom Page was at the PFL, and then he faced off with Cedric Doumbé, who's like one of the craziest
He's their biggest
kickboxers out there.
star.
Yeah. So there's talks about him potentially signing with the PFL and not the UFC. And then
That would be
Kevin-
a shame. That'd be a shame.
Yeah, so Kevin Holland said if he did that, it's a money
Dude,
thing, and he respects it.
He's 100% right. It's just a money thing. As far as the legacy thing, like I want to see him against the very best. That Dumba guy, phenomenal.
Yeah, that's
best
crazy.
prospect by far PFL's ever had. UFC dropped the ball on that one. But if he goes there, it's like, all right, you get this one fight, and then you're the guy that was a stud in Bellator and in PFL.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you real
It's
quick.
like, okay,
You, real quick, like if you're in the same position, you're getting this much money here, but legacy's here, what do you do?
I would have to know what the UFC's off. Now, if the UFC's lowball and give him like 30 and 30, then yeah, this is a no-brainer. But I imagine at Michael Page's level, they're offering decent money,
Yeah,
especially
he's
with
exciting.
everything going on outside the UFC with that lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably going to give him a fair offer. So if I'm Michael Venom Page, I would want to see how I compete against the very best in the world.
And
And
potentially
there's
make more
no
money.
doubt, without a fucking doubt in my mind, the very best are not in the PFL. They're not in Bellator.
No.
They're just not. So if he wants to play with the big boys and really test his skill, you got to sign with the UFC. Otherwise, it's a money and you want easy matchups and fun matchups and do your thing. but you'll never be considered the best. And I would assume a guy like Michael Van Page wants to see where he lines up against the very best. Well, here's your opportunity.
Yeah, makes sense. So there was a rumor circulating.
Yeah,
that someone made.
Yeah,
about George St.
asshole
Pierre
made a rumor
being
about
in
him fighting
UFC
Nick Diaz
UFC
at
300. So
Boy,
George
that
said,
caught fire.
George St. Pierre said he's like absolutely not doing it because he's not after 40. He doesn't want to fight in anything like MMA related.
Good
but
for
he
him.
would compete still and some other stuff.
Hey, okay, George. Okay, I see what you're doing.
So it's still
It's
still on
still
the table?
going, dude.
All right,
I don't believe any of these guys.
interesting. Islam Makhachev said he doesn't want a rematch with Charles Oliveira. He'd rather fight Justin Gaethje.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, I can see that, but I don't think the UFC is going to give him a choice. I would watch either. He's in a weird spot. The 55 is in a weird spot. There's no like new young crop of guys right now.
Another quick one, if this loads.
Yeah, I'm about to piss my pants.
You gotta.
Yeah, I got to pee hard.
Okay, so let me look at what's the best ones here. But real quick, do you remember this kid?
You cover this. You talk about this.
I knew it.
Go for
I
it.
knew it.
I think we could play this video too because it's this kid from a while ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that kid.
Yeah, he was in the press conference at the UFC. He's like saying like I'm gonna make it to the UFC and do this and that. So
Was that during like Conor?
yes, Conor McGregor was
Jose?
there. Yeah. So I'll play this clip. I'm sure this is fine. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, hold on a sec. Let's refresh.
Let's hear it.
Dana, I'm going to be the new breed of the UFC.
I love it. I love it. What's your proposition?
Dana, I'm five-time national kickboxing champion. I'm Irish and British champion at Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm a world medalist at kickboxing. So I'm guaranteed that you're going to be strapping that gold belt around my waist.
Welcome to the Irish age, yeah. The fighting Irish.
Dana!
Yes.
Shush, 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 shush. So, help me with advance on my first paycheck for a fight.
What do you say?
To see Conor versus Adam in July.
His accent's so hard to get, but the main thing he said was like this is when Jose Aldo was fighting Conor McGregor. He's like spit shine that belt for Conor McGregor. Yeah. And now this kid is he won his PFL debut in Europe.
What?
Yeah.
He's fighting now?
Yeah. Hold on. Computer's super slow.
So
But that's him
sick.
right now. And he did I think a guillotine win.
In PFL?
Yeah, PFL Europe. I think they do amateur and professional. So I think he's still amateur.
That's
But
cool
yeah.
though, man. That's great.
Yeah.
What a story.
Actually, before we do this one, nah, we're good. All right, so this is a senator in Ireland.
Ooh, she messed up going after Conor.
She did, and she
got lit up.
Hopefully, my computer's good to go. Anyway, she said that she wouldn't even like elect or nominate Conor to wash dishes, and then he went off on her.
He goes, I nominate you to brush your teeth and see the dentist because if there was a cause to bring back mask, I would call for it.
It's so freaking funny. Anyways, all right, I don't have to play it. And he says like something about gingivitis. It's super, super funny.
Yeah, she got lit up.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd you expect?
You know what? The computer's not doing that well right now, so let's go ahead and I think we're good to
Call
go.
it there?
Yeah. That's
right,
Tyrone
bro.
Spong, by the way. He looks so different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He looks cool. He looks like Scar from Lion King.
Yes, he does.
That's sick. All right, kids. UFC 296 goes down this freaking Saturday. We'll have a live fight companion with Cheeto Vera, Rampage, and myself. Starts at 7 p.m. live on Thick Boy YouTube. You have Vicente Luque, Ian Garry, Tony Ferguson, Patty Pimlet, Schaub, Wonderboy Thompson, Pantoja, Brandon Royval in your co-main event. Then Leon Edwards, Colby Covington. Get you some. This is the fight card of all fight cards, and it's a great way to end the year. So make sure you tune in to the Fight Companion live at 7 p.m. Pacific on Thick Boy. Touring-wise, I have a little bit of a break. I'll be around L.A., but next up is Nashville, January 25th, and Austin, January 26th, 27th. Get your tickets at thickboy.com. For Toontown, we got a bunch of stuff coming this week. The second episode will drop this month, so we'll keep you posted. It's coming soon. Stay patient. Having some issues with the lightning, but it's coming, fam. Love you guys. Be nice to each other. Stay safe. Happy holidays. See you next time.